United's under-18s battered Middlesbrough 5-0 at the weekend, and the headline, 15-year-old Kai Rooney, son of Manchester United's all-time goal scorer, bagging his first goal for the under-18s. Now, the surname is huge, and the spotlight is going to be intense, but who actually is Kai Rooney? How good is he? What kind of player is he? And are we going to see another Rooney break through at Old Trafford? Let's break it down. Now, Kai is the eldest son of Wayne Rooney, so football has been in his blood since day one, and Manchester United has been in his blood since day one. Now, he joined United's academy all the way back in December 2020, aged just 11 years of age, and the numbers he put up early doors were crazy. And you do get some youngsters that do these sorts of things in academy systems. He scored 56 goals, got 28 assists. That's 84 goal involvements. At youth level, it's not normal. It is domination, but you do get some kids that are outliers, and these sorts of numbers are not that unusual at the age groups that never really sort of break into the first team, the under-18s, that sort of stuff. Under-18s is where you really start to take notice, and if you start breaking through at 15, 16, and playing with 17 and 18-year-olds, and you're doing bits at that age, then all you can ever say about a player is he's got a chance. And what I would say about Kai Rooney is he's got a chance. Now, he has consistently played above his years. He consistently captains sides. And like I said, now at 15, he is making his mark for the under-18s, scoring goals, 3 age groups higher than where he should be. That tells you everything about how United are rating his development, because he is in a team that has got some other incredible talents in there that we'll be talking about in subsequent videos and subsequent weeks. But let's talk about the goal that he got this weekend. It wasn't spectacular, but what makes it exciting, for me at least anyway, is the instinct, the anticipation, that being in the right place in the right time, showing the composure and getting his reward. That striker DNA, it's repeatable. And those are the habits that separate a kid that looks flashy, doing power league type tricks and stuff like that, from somebody that could actually make it in senior football and actually maybe make it at Manchester United. Now, what sort of player is he? Is he just a copy-paste of his dad? Well, no, actually, no. Wayne, as a teenager, you surely remember, was all power, all chaos. He would smash goals in from 30 yards. He would compete with 30-year-old defenders. And Kai is different. Firstly, he's left-footed. Secondly, he is a lot more technically refined, certainly at 15. And he likes to drift in pockets. He doesn't like to compete physically. He likes to drift into pockets. He likes to link play. And then he likes to arrive in the box. Honestly, except for the name on the back of his shirt, probably looks a little bit more like a Robin van Persie than he does a Wayne Rooney. He's got that intelligent movement, that composure in front of goal, rather than that raw animal aggression that Wayne had. The biggest strengths that I would say that Kai has got going for him as a young striker is that natural finishing instinct, that just ability to arrive in the right place at the right time. The things that you don't really feel like you can coach, just that knack for always managing to get on the end of stuff. Secondly, it's his technical ability, the touch, the link play. They're fantastic for his age. He's got vision, he's got the intelligence to get his head up. Versatility, that's where you could start to see some traits of his dad going in there. He can play anywhere across the front line. He could be an attacking midfielder. You can see him on the left wing, the right wing, or as a number 9. And then the mentality. Again, that's another trait of his dad. Being 15, taking under-18s football in his stride, says a lot. But where does he need to work? Well, physicality. This isn't the powerhouse carbon copy that Wayne Rooney was when he was coming through. He is someone that is still developing his frame. And I would also say his pace. Wayne was absolutely blistering. Kai's not showing that, at least yet. He's quick, he's nippy, but I wouldn't call him that blistering pace that Wayne Rooney had. And I think that can be a separator at different levels. I think if you're going to want to make it in the Premier League, you need to have a bit of an X factor about you, and quite often that can be pace. He could evolve that a little bit more. He could also end up just being a little bit more of the Robin van Persie, almost Teddy Sheringham kind of in between the lines kind of striker, rather than the number 9 that plays on the shoulder. And that's fine. I'm sure the coaches at United will carefully think about his traits before building that side of his game. I'm sure of that. And I'm sure You know, his dad's an absolute football nerd. I'm sure he's working with his dad. And then the name, the pressure that comes with the name on the back of the shirt, Rooney. It's a blessing and it's a curse. People are going to pay more attention because of the name on the back of the shirt. Every time he scores, the papers love it. Social media goes bananas over it. But every miss is going to get magnified as well. And every time that he steps out onto the pitch, he's going to be compared to his dad. I'll be real with you. He's not reaching the heights of his dad. Wayne Rooney was one of the best players that the Premier League ever saw. I would say success for Kai Rooney is a professional football career. And that's enough. If one of your mates had the career of, say, an Anton Ferdinand, you'd be absolutely buzzing. But when Rio's his brother, you think, well, maybe he didn't quite hit the heights of his brother. Forget that. If Anton was your mate and he was called Anton Smith, you'd be absolutely buzzing with the career that he had. And I think the same goes here for Kai Rooney. If Kai was called Kai Smith and he ends up being a player that breaks through, maybe he makes his debut for Manchester United, maybe he doesn't, maybe he goes out on loan a couple of times, maybe he ends up as the sort of career Joe Rothwell's had now, where he's played in the Championship, he's played in the Premier League. You would be absolutely buzzing if one of your mates did that. But the pressure of that surname on the back of that shirt, that can be a bit much. So hopefully Kai gets to carve his own path. You know, if he becomes a pro, sweet. If he breaks through at United and he's good enough to feature for Manchester United, that's fantastic. But the pressure's going to be enormous on him because of that name. At 12, he had a Puma boot sponsorship. It's pretty unheard of. It just shows you how marketable he is. But that attention isn't always a positive, and that pressure isn't always a positive. So how do you make sure that we put him on the right pathway and we develop the potential that he's got correctly? What's the next right step for him? Because of course he's not ready for the first team. The key is steady progression. More under 18s minutes. I think any exposure when you're 2-3 years off playing at that age group, any exposure to that age group is fantastic. You know, if United can get back into Europe, get some more minutes in the youth league, that would be an exposure to different sorts of football. Continually play ahead of your years. If we can start being introduced to under-21s football at 16, 17, develop physically, maybe go out on loan. You don't need to achieve everything that your dad achieved by making a first-team Premier League debut age 16 and a hat-trick for Manchester United at 18. You don't need to do that to be considered a success. If you went out to League One or the Championship at 18, 19 years of age, scored some goals and developed, that might be enough. That could be the right move. The temptation when people see the name is to push too fast, to expect too much too soon. But Kai's got time and he should have time. He's already ahead of his age group. That's the sign of someone that's got a chance. And that's all you want, is to be able to say, he's got a chance. United's academy has produced a conveyor belt of players for years and years. All the way since 1937, there's been Manchester United academy players in the first team. And it's something that the club is incredibly proud of. Kai Rooney being part of that, with all the things his dad achieved as a Manchester United player, would be absolutely poetic. Football is inherently romantic. It's a sport that makes no sense. I don't know them guys that are out on the pitch, and I don't know half of the 76,000 that line the Stretford end and the rest of Old Trafford aside me. But we're all united by that same thing. And it's delusion at times. It's hopeful at times. But that romanticism is what draws us. We want to see the last minute winners. We want to have the fairy tale of the cup. And you want to see youngsters go on and repeat what their dad did. But like I said, Kai doesn't have to be his dad. And he realistically is not going to be his dad. Wayne Rooney was a once-in-a-lifetime player. Kai just has to be himself. Right now, that self looks like a real technical, intelligent, left-footed forward with a natural eye for goal. And I think that's exciting in its own right. So there it is. Kai Rooney, first under-18s goal at 15. Ridiculous youth numbers behind him and the weight of one of the biggest names in football on his back. He's got talent. There's no doubt about that. Whether or not it's the same as his dad, well, that's a very lofty peak he would need to reach. What do you think? What's the best pathway for Kai Rooney? As fans, do you want to just pump the brakes and relax a little bit? Let him see him go out on loan to the Championship, maybe League One? Keep him in-house like they did with Mainu? How high is this kid's ceiling, do you think, from what you've seen? And there'll be a couple more videos coming out because there's some other genuinely exciting prospects that all kind of featured in that game against Middlesbrough at the weekend and did some bits. The United under-18s is cooking. There's just a little bit of a gap between that under-18 side and the first team at the moment. The pathway in between isn't quite right. But you've got some generational players playing under-18s football for the club at the moment. It's can United do the polish that's required, select the right loans, be sensible with their development, and turn them into first-team footballers for Manchester United? Because they don't need to be Wayne Rooney to be successful. If you bring through someone that has the career John O'Shea had at Manchester United, that is an incredible, unmitigated success. And I'd absolutely love for us to bring through somebody like that right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.